It is time. We are queued up and ready for Dr. Ben Quist, the man with all the answers about heart health, heart everything, and perfect timing for Valentine's Day with everything about the hearts, Dr. Ben. I'm sure you have something huge planned for the missus. so so I know you want we can't let this drag on because you probably have the limo picking you up at a certain time, then you're going to the florist and then to the cake shop. So we got to keep you on
Keep
schedule.
me on schedule.
Yes. How are you, Ben?
I'm good. I'm good, Jack. How are you doing?
Excellent.
Good.
Excellent. I missed you. My technology was we figured out it was my technology, something with, they were having issues with my wireless company. So sorry about that.
No problem.
We didn't get to talk to you pre Super Bowl. We can talk post Super Bowl, or we can talk whatever you want to talk about. I have a question from Margot as well for you to contemplate.
Well, I've got a couple different possible topics for you, so you can kind of pick what you want to do.
Fire
Um,
away.
I mean, we could do something heart health related if you wanted to, different things you can do that are don't cost you any money that help prevent heart disease. We could do 3 techniques for osteoporosis
Oh,
prevention that I just did a video on. So that
well,
would
let's
be
do
one.
that
That's
since
three
you just did
techniques
a
I've been
video
using with
on
my
it
clients.
and you're hot on that. Let's do the osteoporosis, Ben. You got that on the brain, and let's go. Let's fire away.
I think you and I talked not that long ago about the fact that many of the things that people typically do for treatments for osteoporosis aren't quite as effective as maybe they would hope. Like calcium supplementation, that kind of thing. That's been, it's been very disappointing in the research when you look at like, okay, we should be upping our calcium intake, with this pill, and then, then it doesn't relate really to preventing fractures, which is really what you want to do, right? You want to prevent your
Right.
bones from being broken, so some of the pill related type of treatments don't seem to carry much water. But what I have seen over really the course of the last 2 decades or so, working with patients and personal training clients and things of that nature, is that, really that a lot of people are coming in with this concern, especially women, postmenopausal, where they're having osteopenia or osteoporosis, and so it's a big deal. And I have had some really good success, kind of either maintaining their bone density, for years and years and years, or even building it up a little bit. And the secret sauce is really load bearing resistance. So strength training, anything that impacts the bones, so that they get that stimulus from the outside world to say, hey, we need to get a little more density. We need to get a little stronger because this, we're getting these different loads are being applied to our body, so that's been kind of the main strategy. And I have a couple different like sub points on that of some things that maybe people could try either at home or if they are members of a gym, some different things to maybe focus on if you are worried about or you have, one of these different conditions.
Is the only way for you to find out if you have them from your doctor? Does doctor say, "Hey, you have osteoporosis or osteopenia," is what you called it, I believe,
Yeah,
or
yeah. So yeah, usually it's a standard check that they normally do. Usually it affects women more than men. It affects typically petite individuals more than heavier individuals for obvious reasons. If you're heavier, you're loading your bones more. Fair complected, blue-eyed people have a tendency to get it more, So yeah,
really?
you would go and get a bone density test, from your doctor. And then osteopenia is simply low bone density, and osteoporosis is like clinically low, really low bone density.
Okay, yeah. When I was a kid, they tested kids for osteoporosis, and then scoliosis was a thing. Is this related to
Yeah.
scoliosis kind of thing, or no?
No, no, this is just simply the density of the bones. So, and it's such an important thing because, we really know that like falling and breaking a bone, is one of the ways that, people pass away, right? So
Right.
you fall, you break your leg, you lay in bed with a, kind of healing up, you get pneumonia, then you die. So it
Right.
is one of the major ways that people pass away. So it is really, really critically important to protect those bones and not have those falls. One point I want to make, so a lot of people look at this and go, well, until I get a diagnosis of osteoporosis or osteopenia, I'm going to just, do my normal thing. Who cares? I don't have it yet. But, it really is something where what you do in your youth, your 30s, your 40s, you want to build up a reserve of bone before you go into your middle age and your older years. So it's never too soon to start on load bearing exercise. So it is just critically important. And that's why strength training again and again and again keeps coming up in the research as this amazing thing you can be doing for your body, not only to build stronger muscles, but stronger bones, tendons, ligaments, all that stuff, so.
Yeah. Um, it- the weight, it doesn't have to be heavy weights, right, Ben? I mean, you can start, it's like you don't wait to be, first of all, and to your point about being diagnosed with it, why would you wait to be diagnosed with something? Why wouldn't you take proactive measures to do it so you don't get that? Because there's not, you tell me, you've taught me this. Every one of us, we reach a certain age, nobody escapes bone density loss naturally occurring, correct?
I mean, there's some people who, are kind of like genetically resistant to it, or maybe the things that they did in their, the earlier life, they don't go down that route. But yeah, but typically your bones are going to thin, your muscles are going to weaken, and it's just a natural process of aging. So, really our strategy is how do we defend and how do we push it back? How do we have that longer life and that more function in our life as we're going throughout you know, our middle age into old age time frame.
Hmm.
So and then bone density is just such a critical one. And so some of the things I've been having my clients do, which have been really effective, and actually my mom is one of them. So she's 81, and she was diagnosed with osteopenia probably 25 years ago, and she
Wow.
has not lost a titch. We were able to gain some bone back, and then she's not lost anything from doing some of these very things I'm going to tell you right now. And one of the most effective ones is just walking is a load bearing exercise.
Really?
So normally the areas that get affected by this type of thing that we're concerned with are like your femurs or your long bone of your leg, your pelvis, your lower back, like all of those areas of spine, so those are the areas you want to kind of load. But walking, and then additional to that, adding a weighted vest to the walking as tolerated can be really, really powerful. And especially my seniors that I work with, like sometimes like they'll be, I have some women that are in their 70s that I work with, and y- they they kind of like cringe when I'm like, okay, put this weighted vest on, but it's great and they tolerate it and they do well with it. So it is something where that has been a really effective strategy. And if you try to do so if you can walk without pain now, the next step would be to get some type of weighted vest from like Amazon, where the ones where you can do incremental increases to the weight are the best. So like you can buy one that goes from 1 to 10 pounds. So start off with 2 pounds, then try 4 pounds. And if the joints can handle it, and nothing bad happens, you can kind of just keep upping that weight. And then that extra weight really helps kind of give you an extra stimulus to strengthen the bones. So that's one strategy anyone can do anywhere.
Okay. And walking, yeah, anybody could do that. Ben, how often should someone do that if whether they've been diagnosed or they're just in the preventative proactive mode? How, like, every day? Is it as an everyday thing? Is
Well,
it
they recommend 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week for somebody, but if you look at the research on longevity, even going up to 300 minutes, which is a lot, right?
Mhm.
So if someone was really serious about it, it could be a daily thing for a half hour. Get on the treadmill, go outside when the weather's nice, pop on your weighted vest and walk for 30 minutes. It was one of the best things you possibly can do.
it's certainly different than the stereotype when someone says weight training, they think bodybuilders a lot of times,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep.
And this is
Totally.
not bodybuilding.
No, it's just it's just a technique that you can use in your arsenal to kind of keep the skeleton strong, So number two, and this was another one where a lot of people kind of forget about this stuff, but jumping. So, and I know you and I have talked about it before, like, burpees and certain things. It's like, and after a certain age, it's like I'm not doing that anymore.
Right.
So, but doing jumping. So, like, for example, I had a customer who was in his 70s doing some jumping. When I'm talking jumping, these are very, very small jump squats. So he's barely leaving the ground. And I had him on a mat. So he's jumping on a slightly padded surface, but he's still getting a really nice bone load from doing that, And as the person can tolerate it, say it's someone who's in their 50s or 40s who's concerned about this, then yeah, heck yeah, jump squats are one of the best things you possibly could do. Jumping jacks, like any of those jumping type moves, and even bringing back the good old fashioned jump roping, right? Talk about a really nice, high impact, ground reaction forces popping into those feet and loading those bones. The jump rope is one of the best things. So any of those different jumping strategies, depending on the person's age, orthopedic situation, they can be really, really good.
See, you never know what you're going to hear out of Dr. Ben. I tried, even if you tried to predict what he was going to say, you never would have said he's going to talk about jumping strategies today, because no, I've never heard that term before. That's pretty cool.
I mean, these are just common sense things that over the years I've started to use, and I have had almost 100% success rate with kind of maintaining bone density. So it's and now that I've been doing it for so long, I have kind of like a historical perspective, of
Mm-hmm.
working with patients and things. So it's,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I love sharing this stuff, because it's just easy things. And again, like jumping, or jump roping, you don't have to be a member at a gym. You can do it in your basement. You can do it outside. You're like, jumping jacks, all of that kind of stuff, to get that impact and that load.
Yeah,
It's great. Are you ready for number three?
I am. I can't
This is
say,
the
wait,
final one. This
wait,
is all you get
oh,
today. One more,
I
one
got my
more
pen
technique.
ready. All right, go ahead.
So the final one is the leg press machine. That is one of my favorites for loading, because it hits the exact bones that we're looking to load for osteoporosis, osteopenia. And the fact, obviously you have to be a gym member, or I don't really know of anybody who has a leg press in their house, but that'd be kind of odd or weird, but it could happen. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
somebody. But so when someone starts with the leg press, it's wonderful because you can start with such a lightweight, and you can very slowly, as you can tolerate it and as you get stronger, raise the weight. So it's just a wonderful way to progressively load the tissue, and it's very, very safe.
And there's no jolting. There's no, that is a smooth, that's the one where you're sitting, right? And you push out the weights,
Yep.
whether you're at an angle or not, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yep. So any of the different leg press variations, pin loaded ones are kind of the easiest ones to set up. Many times it's people, in their 50s, 60s, 70s that are doing these exercises. So the leg press is just a really good, a good one to do. Obviously a
Mhm.
younger individual could do barbell squats, deadlifts are fantastic for bone density, any of those different types of movements, but sometimes the body just doesn't allow as we get older.
Right. Great. And you have your mom doing this stuff.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So that old commercial, mom approved, kid tested, mom approved,
Yeah, yes. Yeah, totally. And just for, she's been doing twice a week strength training now for over 2 decades now. I think it was in her 60s or so when she got the diagnosis, and then, but we've had, and she even had a fall, a couple years ago, and hit pretty
oh,
hard on some pavement, didn't break a
oh,
single bone.
oh, great.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was,
great.
that's kind of why we do this stuff, right?
And I was at the gym over lunch. There are people who are all age ranges in the gym. I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of going to the gym.
Hang on one second, Jack. Hi guys. Oh, got it. Yeah, there's one back there, or there's a bathroom over there too. Yeah, yes, we always match. Nerds. Sorry. I'm at a pickleball place, and I'm playing some pickleball for Valentine's Day with my wife and two other lovely people.
Ben, you're not missing a game right now?
Pickleball has some good bone loading with pickleball too, Jack.
There you go. Yeah. Oh man, you're something else. That's funny. Okay. What else? What else you got for the bones?
I think that's it. I think we got a good, I mean, I wanted to kind of just go over those three different techniques, and some of them can be done from home. So,
Mhm.
and it's never too early to start. If it's something that concerns you and you're thinking about it already in your 30s or 40s, you should already be working on it, because it's a lot easier to hold these things off when you're not in a bad situation. So it's a lot easier, just like heart disease or anything, it's a lot easier to prevent it than it is to fix it once it's going full steam.
Sure. Okay. Cool. What if someone, Ben, is watching and say, I'd like to talk to Ben specifically about how do they get a hold of you, Ben? What's the best way to do that?
Well, they can call our main line at Foreman Fitness Health Club in Grafton, and they can just ask to be transferred to my voicemail, and then I to be very honest, I don't check it that frequently, but I do get back to everybody.
Oh, good.
Don't expect a return call in 30 minutes, but it might be a day or two. But yeah, but anybody could leave a message, and I try to get back to every single person that calls.
Or they could do the email, correct? Info at Foreman Fitness.
Yep, info at Foreman Fitness. Yep, exactly. So if you have an older parent that is having some issues with this kind of stuff, or it's something that concerns you, one of our trainers, we have over 35 on staff, they all know how to do this stuff, so it is a really, come on in, get set up on a program, and let's all get strong.
Very cool.
Strong with strong bones.
I'm not even gonna bring up the M word that you exploded about last week, because that's got
The which word?
the M word.
M
That,
word? Was it M?
M.
Got
Milk.
it. Okay.
Milk. That's not the bone.
Oh, milk. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes.
Don't explode. Your head's gonna
I'm not going
explode.
to. You can't. You
Don't.
can get me. You can get me to explode one time today.
No,
I've been very
I know.
calm.
No,
I can't do it in here. I'm in
that's-
somebody's business. I can't be really loud. I want to. I want to say something about milk now, but no, I'm not gonna say anything.
All right. Well, you have fun with Gretchen. Have a wonderful day. It's nice that you guys are doing something together. That's healthy. That's good. And all right, I have one question. Can you do one question?
Yes.
What is your favorite restaurant and why? I guess that's two questions.
My favorite restaurant.
Yeah, and why?
So it's funny you asked that. I have a new favorite.
Okay.
I love Forage Kitchen in Whitefish Bay. Forage Kitchen.
Oh, there's one in
Silver
Whitefish
Spring.
Bay.
Yeah.
We've been to it in Madison. That's when we did.
Yes, I know they have multiple locations, but I
Oh.
am so impressed with what they're doing in that place. You know, where they're and that's exactly, we need more of that kind of stuff here in America. We need more people opening places that are full on super healthy for people, where the food actually tastes good, you can get it fast, you know.
It's
I'm so
fantastic.
impressed with
It's
that.
I didn't know they were
restaurant.
here. That's great. Margot's going to be doing cartwheels. We love that place, but every time we were near Madison, we'd go to it down.
Yeah, it opened in the Bay. I don't know when it opened, relatively recently, but I go to yoga down there, and so like then I saw it. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, so
Excellent and really tasty. All right.
yeah, really
Right.
good stuff. Yep.
We're not always on the same page on food, but this time we are, Ben. That's fantastic.
Wow, this is like a first.
It
This
is.
a first.
It is. It's Valentine's Day. Everybody's happy. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, thanks very much. Good info. Good job. Get back, go out there and make sure you don't try too hard and let other people win every once in a while.
Yeah, I will. I'll make sure everyone has a chance.
All right. Happy VD, as I say to everybody.
Oh, God. Thanks, Jack. Happy VD.
I'm an
to you
old
too.
romantic at heart. So
Yes. Yes.